The rare good morning, all. It is morning for most of the world at the moment. We are back here on ZeldaSpeedRuns for coming up to the conclusion of week 1 of this round of the NMG League. At the first race in the Desert Palace division between Coin Chaser and StructuralMike. Joined on comms by PH and by Rob. How are you two doing today?
I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you. Yeah, it should be a good race here. Looking at the splits that we can see on our screen here, so there's about 10 seconds between the two PBs for these runners, so it should be a good race.
All right, I will hand this over to two of you. We will get this race started here shortly.
All right, here we go. So for those unaware, as you can see from the not very many text boxes from the uncle there, this season of NMG League is being played on the randomizer vanilla preset. So it's more or less the same as your normal NMG speedrun, but we have the randomizer quality of life changes like less text boxes, quick swap, that kind of thing. In addition to a couple of extra glitches being legal that aren't in the regular game too.
Totally. So over the course of the run, it should save approximately 10 minutes, I think is kind of our working assumption, right?
Yeah, that's more or less the difference between the records.
Yeah. But sometimes it feels like a whole lot more when you don't have to sit there and mash after beating a boss, which is so really nice. So we're just going to go through Escape. The early part of the game is going to look obviously pretty much similar for the most part, right? Only big thing here is no text mashing, but that does save like on the order of like 40-ish seconds, 50-ish seconds, I think, just in this first little section.
Coin Chaser just had a small mistake there on the poke spin on that guard. Lost like half a second.
That strat is surprisingly tricky.
Yeah, it's all about the timing on the release there. Like as when you poke an enemy with your sword, you will drop your sword, but there's a few frames of window. I'm not entirely sure how many after you've got the poke. If you release it, you still got the spin.
Yeah. Well, both our runners did beat the true final boss of the game, the ball and chain card, so we have a run.
Yep. Also, both runners remembering to get the lamp from the chest there. It's definitely a thing that I have seen missed before.
And Zelda, believe it or not, I left the I'm like, wait a second, I'm missing something.
I mean, I guess it's less likely someone gets lamp in vanilla preset. I feel like rando players are more likely to open too many chests than too few.
Yeah, that's something We'll see if we get to dunk on anybody for that. That's this is also a really good sync. Look at this. Oh, a coin ruined it.
Oh, we've got right side for Mike.
Oh, heathen. I don't believe it actually causes any difference. I think I heard it actually used to be that people would leave using right side, but supposedly they thought the RNG might have been a little worse. I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever it is, it's incredibly marginal. Anyway, after that,
Right.
after that brief detour, the runners are in fact synced again now. So, who's to say?
Mike getting bullied there. Insurmountable lead. Oh, never mind.
Yep, I got the clearer path through these snakes, so and like that's going to be most of the difference between runners in Escape, just the little small enemy RNGs that like cost you, 10 frames here or there, having to walk around something.
Yeah. Funny because in the grand scheme of things, a really good escape versus a really bad escape is only a few seconds, but the difference feels really significant in the moment because you do this so many times and it can get so frustrating. All right, off we go. So, while we're kind of walking over to Eastern here, I think as we're talking a little bit, so Coin and Mike are both obviously really great runners. I think Coin, for those who follow NMG a bit more, plays a little more of the no major glitches category. Mike is one of the, more well-known folks in the rando community, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Mike's no stranger to an NMG run too. I think he's definitely done some runs on the vanilla game.
Oh, for sure. It's just I think it's funny because I think relative to his actual skill level, his PB in NMG is probably underrepresented because he hasn't done that many.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not. He hasn't grinded it.
Yeah. Like the rando players play so much of the game that they're, the ones that play a lot are very good, but they don't necessarily do the attempts to get a top time.
Right. So maybe today will be the day.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, as a verifier for the vanilla speedrun leaderboards, we every now and then you just see one of the rando players just kind of go for it, and you'll see 10 NMG PBs in a week because they've started actually doing runs.
Right.
Coinchase going for the slash on that guard, Mike going for the boom. Boom slightly faster, but the slash you kill the enemy, have a slight chance of a 50-50 chance of a rupee drop. Didn't happen here for coin though. Runners are going to be looking for a small number of rupees from drops. We have consistent strats to get most of the money we need for Power to Darkness, but we like We'd like at least 4 rupees from drops, ideally, to not have to do any backups.
I think that if you think about one of the nice things actually about this is that by being able to quick swap, it can be a little bit easier to catch rupees when they're kind of floating around, because you can get to the boomerang in situations where an NMG wouldn't normally have access to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like for NMG, normally you would have like the bow equipped for the entire back of Eastern Palace here, but with the boomerang just like one quick swap away, it's easy to go over to it temporarily and then come back.
Exactly.
Much risk. Like we certainly might see that in the double readies room coming up here if the guys drop some rupees in a further away spot. Might see a boomerang attempt. Okay, well, Coin just gets 25 right in his path, so no worries there.
That's the real strat, is just get lucky, right? That's how I play the game.
Ooh, small error there on the almost quick kill from Coin. Gonna have to just back it up here. Still a reasonable fight. It's like Mike gets it fine though.
Oh, good news. The game is now playable.
Yep, here's the boots. Okay, looks like we're seeing a little divergence in the rupee route here. Mike's going to do Sahasrara rupees.
So this is slower, but the time loss isn't as bad as it is in NMG because of no text box.
Yeah, that's true. Those bombs usually come with a text box, and also having bombs slightly earlier here, you can put them to use. We might see if Mike chooses to do like a bomb climb on Death Mountain, for example.
Right. It is interesting though, because if anything, usually the bomb route in this mode is a little bit more forgiving, because since we have the ability to do Icebreaker, it's 3 fewer bombs that we need versus the NMG route.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what. There's a couple of different orders you can do the dungeons in the Dark World in Vanilla Preset that are all pretty comparable. There's also the possibility of like doing a Swamp Palace slightly earlier and using a bomb for the diver down setup if you do it before Maya, but we'll see when we get to that point.
Yeah. Mike is sometimes known to just believe it or not, people do play this game for fun, and he's been known to just switch it up just because he finds it interesting. Well, they're from Coin, I think. Mike got the extra bombs, but also had a little bit of trouble on one of the bridges there, but not too bad. Yeah, like if we look at so we have Mike sub splits up, and he, like his PB, he did not get he didn't get Saha. He did the tree pull, so I think he might just be he's exploring. having a little fun.
It could also be a race safety thing. Like, you can't mess up.
That's a good point.
You can't mess up a house full of rupees. You can mess up 3 rupees.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I figure there's probably a way to. That sounds like a challenge. I feel like I might be able to find one. Pretty good deserts from both players here. You can see how they both, tap the dash button to cancel the lag coming off the stairs there, which is a nice little bit of tech.
All right, no attempt for the Desert 2 spin speed there. Unsurprising. One of the downsides of Quick Swap is that you can't use menu buffers to help you out in situations like that.
Yeah, the the unbuffered, it's cursed. It's so cursed because it's so easy to just hop off there with speed.
All right, Mike really showing us the quick swap skills now, using the bow there to snipe one of the the popos that ran away.
I don't know that but again, that's the thing that you can do in this, because that's actually one of those like hidden places where you can lose a lot of time, is in that room if you get bad RNG.
Like a 3 cycle there from Coin.
Really good job to kind of clean that up.
I guess we should also mention that the way the vanilla preset ROMs work, the boss RNG will be seeded, so both players will get the same patterns.
Mike with an early 4, I think. Yeah, man, that is Landmo. I don't care what mode of the game you're playing. That fight is never easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the bow Landmo's fight is it's definitely like one of the most technical fights in the game.
Yeah. Well, that is some not great RNG on Coin's side.
Mike got the clear path there at least.
Yeah.
Gets to set up the fake flipper in peace.
That was a really, really, really clean stretch there. That was really good. I don't know that I love using the arrow on the pickle there.
Yeah, Mike's count's a little low here too.
Well. Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, Mike switched up into bombs. We gonna see it? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. A bomb Hera climb in a no major glitches setting. Imagine.
Ooh.
Oh
Unfortunate.
no!
All right, nice little quick dash off there to despawn it.
Yeah. Coin getting the boom strat really nicely. The value of the boom dash is higher here because the menus are you save more menus. Or I should say, you don't have to. Excuse me, you don't have to do the menu. Oh, why boom dash when you can just use that bomb? Mike gets his coffee break.
Good beetle room there
Beetle rooms.
Yeah, don't say both players got a nice beetle room. That room is not as easy as they made it look. Coin gets the bomb jump as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this mini moldon is going to be a problem.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay. Smart bail
wow,
there.
that was awful luck. That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Good reactions from Mike, though, to like realize it was going to go south and get out there rather than falling down the hole.
Yeah. In here, I was saying that we didn't need any extra bombs.
Yeah.
Good Molorm fights from both. All right, so we should see Mike pick some time back up in the split that he gave away because Coin is going to have to do a couple of tree pulls to get his money.
Yeah, all the coins all the rupees Coin has found from drops, he's not going to have to at least grab very many of the blues here.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Would you have picked up arrows in the return cave if you were Mike?
If I'm on 2, I probably do. They're pretty slow, but I think at that low, I probably would.
Yeah, because he's gonna be doing backups for basically the entire castle tower, or have to do a backup and still go leave at 5. Coin grabbing the mushroom first.
Yep, definitely one of the...
Let's go for the boom strat. Let's go!
Ooh.
Oh! Went for the swag. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so Mike's picking up mushroom as well. One of the better safeties for sure. Can be used to perform... Well, I guess you can turn it in for the powder if you'd like to, but I would expect probably these runners are going to be setting up a fake powder instead. A couple of important places you can use that to get your health back, most notably before Vitreous and before Ganon.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is not having the text box. Actually, it makes it easier to get the fake powder off, and it's a the time loss is much smaller, so the cost is way less. Plus, we get the cane earlier, so it's available sooner just in case.
Quite missing the fairy skip there, but doesn't get any drops anyway.
Oh yeah, because he lost a heart.
So yeah, ideally you want to kill the two guys in that room with a dash, because when you dash through an enemy, they will never drop an item, and we want to preserve the prize pack from those guys, but luckily for Coin, even though it went wrong, didn't get any drops anyway, so the fairy that we're trying to set up in Turtle Rock can still be there.
To, even manipulating enemy drops at 25 minutes in for something that we won't see for another 40 or so. So Mike's going to have to be... Yeah. This is a little bit more awkward, unfortunately. Coin doing left pot strats. Or, excuse me, right pot strats. The other really nice things, Rob, do you want to talk about? Do you want to guess how many blue balls we're going to get?
Oh yeah, it's a nice little vanilla preset treat for us today, where Aghanim does not give you any blue balls.
Yeah, the only theoretical change, and it's between the seed, it's the same, but technically the different seeds can have different warp patterns, but those are pretty minimal. It was pretty cool during the qualifiers though, because since people were running the same seed more than once, you got to learn where Aghanim was going to warp to next, and so people would optimize the fight by trying to make sure that they hit him as close as they could, knowing where he was going to go.
Yeah, typically what you do is you hit Aghanim towards the middle of the room to minimize the average warp time, but yeah, if you've played the same seed before and know exactly where it's going to go next, then you can really optimize it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for all the races in this league, there is a new seed generated for the race, so everyone is not going to have that option.
Yeah. We get our extortionist friend Kiki here.
Yep, this is the reason we had to collect some rupees in the light world there. I need 10 to buy Kiki's services and then another 100 to open the door here.
Yeah, and this can be a little bit scary. If you get bad RNG on the moblin there, in the last bit of the overworld screen, it can, it's still manageable, but it can get a little dicey, because if you get hit, it's a huge time loss. It's very awkward. because Kiki will leave and then you have to pay him another 10, and we don't have... The rupee route on this is actually pretty tight.
Yeah, Coin Chaser had the money to spare because of all those drops in Eastern, but yeah, if Mike had been hit there, then he would have had to find some extra rupees.
Mm-hmm.
Mike getting 1.0'd, falling down the hole there.
Right, so let's see how the hammer jump goes. Wow, Coin was an entire... He was a full, like, tile too low at the start.
He's going to be close, I think, to the floor, catching up to him. I think we're okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it, but he... That's a big chunk there. You can see Mike, literally that one stretch allowed Mike to catch all the way up and actually take the lead.
Yeah, Mike just came in and nailed it first try.
Very rude of him to do that and make the rest of us feel inadequate, who miss that every time. Every one of my hammer jumps looks like what Coin just did.
Yeah, I feel like I always either hit both pixels first try and it's great, or I have exactly what happened there, and you have like 10 extra buffers and it's awful. There's no middle ground on hammer jumps.
Oh, it's like 4. And after all that, right back on sync. You love to see it. Oh, Mike having a little bit of a turtle party. All right, let's see what kind of a helmet we get today.
Alright, we've got some nice up and down movements, but we have got some fireballs, so...
Yeah. Like, those are the two main things, right? Is that in terms of like how good or not good the pattern is fireballs versus tail swings, and does he go side to side versus up and down?
Did they just get like exactly the same fight there? I'm looking at like the pattern that Helmer was in when exploding, and it looked like exactly the same to me. Might have been like a frame for frame boss fight there.
Yeah. You can see the times on there. It was about 33 seconds on the nose.
Oh yeah, they have sub-splits just for the boss fight. Nice. It's helping us out here.
Yeah. They both, because they both cut their dashes short there. So like the going down when you right before the pterodact there. Usually you'll see a lot of runners will just if you go far enough down, you don't have to move to the right, but you'll get like absolutely crushed by the by the bird if you don't. And you cut it short. I got word for both. With the unusual left dig strat.
Yeah, the mechanics of the flute popping out of the ground are different in the rando ROM for reasons I don't fully understand. It just like flies further when you dig it up. I haven't really worked out where you're supposed to stand to compensate for that.
So far. It like actually messes. I don't know about you. It actually messes with me on the on that screen because it's like all the way already to the tree. They both got the flute dash, which is very important. So if you the item dash tech actually works with activating the flute as well, which is I think really cool. So you can basically get a first frame dash out of the flute cutscene. Pretty much the same. Not really any major shifts between how you would see this normally in NMG and vanilla preset. We're going to start to see some bigger shifts as we get into the next few dungeons, I think.
Yeah, like once we're done with Skullwoods, that's when the potential route divergences start to kick in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Do you know if either Mike or Coin prefer? Ooh, Coin having a bit of both of them a little bit of an awkward hellway. Do you know if either of them prefer the early swamp or early mire?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a nice surprise.
Yeah. We'll all find out together.
All right, 2 good attics there.
Yeah. Nice RNG, good movement. They're motoring through this, and it's really funny because they're both. It feels like they're like screen for screen, almost exactly the same, even though they have like very, very small differences in their movement patterns.
Right, looks like both of them staying on script so far.
Oh.
A little mishap at the end there, but...
Get our money, some bacon. Give us a little charge here, and then Skull Woods. It's funny. There is actually a route that a couple of runners messed around with that seems a little too meme for me, but where they don't bother to get the Tempered Sword and go straight to the Gold Sword. So they have to finish several dungeons, but so they skip this stretch, and there's some time saving not doing this, but then there's time loss in having to do several boss fights with Master Sword instead of Tempered Sword. But then you get Gold Sword and Silvers for the end game.
Yeah, and the reason for that being that the Pyramid Fairy in Rando is modified, so the Gold Sword and Silver Arrows are just like sat there in treasure chests. In the vanilla game, you do need the Temper Sword to get the Gold Sword, but yeah, not true in the Rando realm.
Yeah, and there's a very long cutscene in the game, right? You have to like throw the thing in, and then the fairy appears and talks to you for a million years. But here, it's just there's just two chests next to each other. Yeah, I think Foxlisk's qualifying time might have actually been using the gold and silver strat. It is slower. That's why I was thinking it's much more of like a meme route. It loses a lot less time than it does in vanilla. I think I want to say that a couple of the high level runners suggested that it might be like a few seconds slower if you had like more or less optimal fights for every single boss, but that's extremely difficult with Master Sword. Oh no! Oh, one getting grabbed. Also, welcome to folks from ZSR2. Doing a NMG vanilla preset speedrun here between CoinChaser and StructuralMike. Obviously was bad. It's better than getting like grabbed here in the back, so the loss wasn't as big, but not fun for sure. Mike, why are you spinning? Oh, coin, guys. So the spin obviously is not great because the game is coded to not do when you hit with a gold sword. Moth doesn't take any damage because that's how the spikes are coded, is the same as the gold sword. And so a spin on the tempered sword is gold sword damage. So tempered sword spins actually don't damage the moth.
Alright, so both runners electing to come and get their Ether Medallion right now, but according to their splits here, it looks like Mike is going Swamp Palace next, and Coin is going Misery Mire next, so we are going to see a divergence.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Point, I think, took the opportunity to go get the heal from the old man. It's much easier to do Fastmire 2 on full health.
Yep.
Swamp Palace, get out of here. Your dungeon is terrible. Oh. So the reason that Mike is coming to get Ether, even though he's not going to Mire yet, is because it's actually safer. Like, that was the thing, is we saw Coin go to get a health refill, because Mire is also a very dangerous dungeon. You take a lot of intentional damage in it. Swamp is not nearly as dangerous. So taking a couple of hits is very acceptable. It doesn't really change how you would play in the dungeon itself.
Yeah, the trade-off there is not going to have the hook shot to do the hook speed and hook climbs on your way to Ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as we were saying about the lots of different potential routing options here, like the times that, the order you do the dungeons and the time that you grab the Ether Medallion and the Ice Rod are somewhat optional. Although, I guess if you're doing Maya next, then you have got to get Ether immediately, of course.
Interesting, because this is one of those fun things that has kind of come out, I think, relatively recently as people played around with the preset, was the realization that with the way that everything is structured and quick swapping and whatnot, doing this a lot earlier really does not lose very much time. Like, maybe a couple of seconds, I think, on average.
Yeah,
there are scenarios.
It depends also. Like, I think the swamp route might even be slightly faster if you get bad RNG from the Zora on the next screen. Like, Mike's not going to have to deal with it because he isn't going through the portal to Ice Palace, whereas Coin Chaser will have to deal with the Zora RNG later on.
Right.
So yeah, I think Bidey was the one who went pretty deep on the timings for these things recently.
It makes for a much comfier Mire, and the arrow route is actually better. Like, we can see the Coin's on 14 arrows, which is enough, but you can come in here pretty easily on 5, 8, and that can be awkward for the video fight. I have heard tell that the early swamp route has been known in some circles as Tam route, but I can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of that statement. Obviously, Tam standing for to avoid Mire.
Alright, looks like Coin has successfully preserved Spooky there.
Looked like a good dungeon there. Just missed the 0 cycle.
Yeah, gets through with a life though, which is the most important thing, doing Maya this early on, that like, takes so much deliberate damage on that boss fight, so getting through it alive is always a victory.
Oh yeah. I think to the question, which is there an advantage? I think that Swamp First is probably in general significantly safer, especially depending on your comfort level in Mire. Technically, I believe the Mire First route is still considered to be slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean by like a second, slightly faster on average, but it's a very, very, very small difference. A lot of runners have shifted over, but as Jem noted, if your splits say Mire First, then switching is illegal. So I think sometimes it's inertia. Mike gets the... Oh, he's not even going for it. So that's an example of where losing the pause buffer actually kind of hurts a little bit. Is there's a strat after you get the hook shot to more easily hook to the pot. It's like a single frame window, but we have kind of a lineup for it. But without the pause buffer, it's a lot less easy to kind of just walk into. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, second try on the bomb diver down there from Mike.
Yeah. That is one of the slight disadvantages of the Swamp First route, is you have to do bomb diver down. Well, you don't have to do anything, but if you're going to do diver down, it requires the bomb strat, because you won't have the game yet. That would be an unconventional 0 cycle, but it did work.
Yep, a little bit of a scary Argus fight there from Mike, finishing it on half a heart, but
Yeah.
we got through.
All right, Rob, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is ahead right now?
I think Coin Chaser is slightly ahead. It is hard to tell with the time I'm landing here. You'll obviously see more clearly once they've both finished this little set of 3 dungeons.
Yeah. I think I had kind of the same sense. So we'll see if we're we're right or not here. So Coin choosing to also not hit the switch, which is technically faster. It is a little bit tighter in that it does mean that you have to be very careful with your magic use. You don't have any give. Hitting the switches is a little slower, but is a little bit less narrow. Is a little bit more forgiving. And with the clean movement there, and then a nice cold.
Yep, gets the single poke strat really nicely.
Take his turn at the world's cleanest swamp. Swamp so clean we even have it in chat today. And yeah, as you can see, so like here's some of the small differences, like the hookshot crosses Yark was talking about in the chat. That saves about 1.5 seconds over walking around the way the coin had to do it. So that's where, you know, there are some disadvantages to swamp first in some of that early pickup, but then you gain a bunch of that back later in other ways.
Yeah, again, to hookshot across the gap in the Maya entrance as well, rather than bonking, saves another little bit of time, probably close to 1 second, I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, in the rando ROM, that's like, because we wouldn't do that in NMG because the time that you would save is gone from just the menuing. But here, it's all free. Uncycled. But you can see the difference, like in our arrow counts coming into this fight.
Right, looks like Mike is choosing to pick up his ice rod here as well. This is another thing that you can do more or less whenever you like between Skullwoods and Turtle Rock.
The gets the free bomb from the rock. Just get the drop.
I wish water walking to Ice Palace here was faster than just fluting again, but it is not, unfortunately. It would be quite nice to implement that into the route.
To that, it is slower. It's not actually like a crazy amount slower. To do there's like some different because there's also a water walk strat up to Zora. If you route this whole little stretch a little differently, and it's another few seconds slower than than just the way that Mike did it, but it's kind of fun. And that Zora stage is terrible, so. Alright, let's see, Coin. See, Coin got the setup. So he gets to hook the pot there. Very nice.
Right, there's the Samaria diver down setup from Coin Chaser. Gets it nicely.
There's another one that you can also do on the left side of that entry that is slightly faster if you're not picking up the chests. But on the whole, really, really nicely done.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, another little safety here from Mike.
Go. It is pretty inexpensive for... I've heard Mike mention that he was planning on getting this.
Yeah, one of those items that you just cannot reasonably pick up in normal NMG run. The Ice Power's big key is so far away from anywhere we would go, but once you get to do Icebreaker,
right,
you get spat out just by the big key chest, and yeah, it becomes just like a handful of seconds investment to pick up a nice little bit of extra defense.
That we can't get it sooner in the run. I mean, by this point, obviously there's still plenty of things that can be very dangerous, but we're pretty healthy. A lot of the really scary stuff is actually earlier in the game, funnily enough.
Yeah, alright. Single poke, cold stare from Mike as well. One of the puffs got away, but cleaned it up fine.
Yeah.
So this race is going to be incredibly close, right? Because Coin Chaser's now got to go get the Ice Rod. So I think Mike is maybe slightly ahead.
Yeah. I think Mike actually, I think we were off. I think Mike's got a small lead here. Maybe not even that. It's not that small. For Waffle House, though, how dare. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is still really tight, though. Not free. It's kind of a running joke about the quick warp, right?
I don't even know a setup for that quick warp if you don't have the hook speed, which Mike didn't know.
Well, Coin didn't even with the hook speed, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's also definitely only free with a menu. Quick swap makes it impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quick warps in general are a lot of the ones that we get that aren't kind of baked into, oh, I'm leaving a dungeon, I'm already on the pixel. They are really, really hard without those menu buffers. Well, Mike may be glad that he has that blue mill right now, because he's taken pretty good number of hits already.
Yep, and now we get to go back to that thing we were talking about 40 minutes ago, as you were saying at the time, where hopefully we're going to get a fairy drop from one of these pokies coming up soon. Get some help.
That's right.
There it is.
Yeah.
Let's see if Coin Chaser gets it too. Nope, just the key this time.
Nice.
Still get some more chances to get it later though. I didn't actually see if Coin Chaser got the heart drop on Hammer Jump Bridge. So I don't know if we've got to get through something else in the prize pack first.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think he did. I think that's correct.
Yeah, I know he didn't get either drop from the prize pack guards, even though he didn't get the skip, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure about Hammer Jump. And there's the full magic drop from Mike as well, so nice and kitted out now for the back of Turtle Rock. Alright, there's Coin Chaser's Fairy.
Just a little too high, so his spin flipped the switch a few extra times, but Mike grabbing the 8 bomb drop.
Oh no.
That feels like a rando habit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a big deal. With Quick Swap, it literally doesn't save time to have no bombs anyway, so...
Right.
Like in NMG, it can actually be a frame saver, but here it does not matter at all.
Yeah. I might have gone in on coin set. I might have grabbed that magic, though. He ended up right next to it. Coin's frustration slashing meant he was actually a little late leaving that room.
Yeah, I mean, he was waiting for the cycle at first, but I think, yeah, just stay there a little long. Yeah, it is unfortunate to go into that room with beams and then miss the strat, so you don't get to actually save the time is unfortunate.
Yeah, so Mike really likes this little, slash the switch, drop the block. It's really nice. It's very, very safe and only loses less than a second to optimal dashing strats usually.
Really nice triangles fight from Mike. Coin Chaser just getting bopped there, but still a pretty good fight.
Honestly, still really solid pace. Mike is about 6 seconds behind his PB. Coin is coming out of here, looks like about 10. So they're both actually still having really good runs. This has been really good from both of them. Got the drop the sword before the cutscene. Huge.
Yep, gotta save those lag frames. I think that's the third 5-arrow drop from the miscellaneous prize pack I've seen on Coin Chaser's screen. He hasn't been able to grab any of them. It's unfortunate.
He's getting all the drops, even when he can't use them. Grabbing Bob's arrows. Ooh.
Mike's positioning just a little off there.
I guess it's a good thing he got those arrows.
Yep. Still has enough to climb here anyway without needing to grab the second chest.
Coin finally got an arrow drop. I think Mike's about 20 seconds ahead right now, it looked like.
Alright, Mike's gauntlet's going pretty well so far.
He might not. I don't know.
Mike just getting blasted a little bit there in G5, but moving on now to Lambo 2. Worse
That was a
worse
really
RNG
slash.
worse RNG in G3 there from Coin, unfortunately, having to chase that guy back.
The pattern was actually okay, and then he had it and he whiffed it, and then I went all the way up to the top. That was too bad.
Just missing out the one cycle there.
I think Mike 2 cycled that fight too. That would have been big. Gotta be careful on his magic here. That's not great.
Coin's going to take.
I think it's actually a good thing.
A kind of.
Because he'll realize.
Yeah, he's going to have to take a slightly longer route here in torches.
Yeah.
We're going to see the fake powder now from Mike. There we go.
Coin actually dumped the bombs enough that he's down to 0 here. Well done.
I think those 2 hits probably would have only counted 1 there. It's like we're heading for a 4 cycle here. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Much like the other bosses, Aga 2 is no blue balls and will also have the same patterns.
Yeah, gets the double there as well. Saves a cycle.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Ooh, I think you just saved it there.
I saved it.
Nice cleanup.
Nicely
The dashes
done.
in here though. I think this might still not be the one-on-one. Yeah, going for the slash there to try and save it. Has to do another cycle here. You can see the hook strats instead of the dash strats on Coin's side. No idea if missing the one-on-one affects the number of warps you get. I assume it doesn't. I do not know.
I don't think it does. I think it's still locked as the. I think the way that we have it set up, it's only 0 or 1 ever, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, In normal rando, I have no idea, but yeah, you're right. In vanilla preset, it's just no warps, no matter what, anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right, both runners onto the final phase there. Mike with a little bit of a head start. All right. Yeah, Coin just missing a couple of spins towards the end here, trying to catch up. All right, Mike crosses the bridge. There we go. GG's.
GG. And Coin as well.
Yeah, looks like there's going to be about 20 seconds between them here. Real tight race, or like throughout, really. Like at no point was either player
Coin
substantially ahead.
Yeah. It is not a PB for Mike, but both of them are fairly. So both of them have PBs in the 117. So these were both really, really good runs. I think Coin has a 117.04 and Mike has a 117.14. But great job by both runners.
Right, looks like Coin Chaser is joining us now. GG.
GG's.
GG Coin.
That was definitely here and there rough and good at the same time, as you would expect in any race. How was your seed? Or how did you go, Mike?
Hey, GG's.
Oh, yeah, Mike here as well. GG's, Mike.
Yes. I didn't beat my PB, but it was close. So
Nice.
I'm happy. I didn't look much on at the restream. That was just too stressful. But every time I eyeballed it, we were neck and neck. Is that the general thing of the race?
Yeah, for sure. There was never like a big difference between you. You were quite close the whole time.
Yeah, that was sick. I started out bad. Missed a bunch of Eastern stuff, and then clawed back some time and finished with a 1 and 2 Ganon, as usual, as is tradition.
Is that tradition?
Always choke Ganon in the speedruns. That's my motto. Yeah. What about you, Conchaser?
Mike. Curious, the Saha rupees.
What about the Saha
What was
rupees?
the thought there?
What's the
What
thought
is-
process behind the Saha rupees? I don't like to do tree pulls. It's very sketchy for a scrub like
Okay.
me. And I like my comfy
I
three
respect
bobs. Yeah. One day,
Makes
maybe. How much time does it actually save or lose, rather?
So I thought it was like 6 or 7 seconds in regular NMG. So like with no text box for the bombs and like the ability to save a little bit of time with the bomb climb, it's going to be even less than that in preset. So not a big deal.
Then I'm never quitting Saharufis. Come on.
I thought it was actually like 10 or 12 seconds, believe it or not. But
Really, I thought it was less than that. Maybe I've misheard, but
I don't know.
I thought it was less than I
Fox
expected it to be when I heard. All right, Fox says it saves about 4 seconds, so it's getting less all the time.
Wow,
Oh my God,
it's
this-
only 4 seconds.
Is it even worth in with preset then?
Yeah, honestly, it might not be.
But
Probably
by
not.
the end of the conversation, it's actually going to be slower to do tree rupees.
It'll just keep getting faster.
It is much cooler with 3 rupees though, because you have to have a much higher like knowledge and skill and adaptability. So I respect everyone who does it.
We got the boomerang strat now.
Boomerang strat.
Yeah, I saw Gwen.
Oh yes, I've seen it. It's very
Yeah.
cursed, but it's very cool.
Yeah.
Did you go for it, Coin Chaser?
Yeah, I think I saved 10 seconds doing that boomerang strat. I think.
At least.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
Coin,
for
so
me, I was gonna say it was just like up and down. I messed up the Armos fight, but I had a good desert fight, so that kind of put me ahead. Moldorm did Moldorm stuff. I had a bad bomb jump in pod. Yeah, it just, typical stuff in a race. You're up and down, and I really was doing really well. Like even coming out of ice, I was only +5, and then swamp, I caught up a lot of time. It was TR Dungeon and GT. I ran out of magic on the climb, so I had to grab the extra magic in the first torches. I just did not keep track. I should have noticed that after Lammo 2. It wasn't a good Lammo 2. But I that you were like, I don't know, 20 seconds ahead coming out of TR. And then I eyed over and it's like, oh, you messed up Ice Armos. Oh, maybe this is my chance. But then when I watched the climb, I was like, oh, you still got that extra 10 or 15 seconds on me.
I just closed the stream completely when I finished TR. I just wanted to finish it out at that time. I used to get very discouraged and sad if I see a finish before I'm done at that stage. Let's just head down, focus on, like, do not die. Like, that was my goal the entire scene. I never raced, like, NMG like this before, really.
Okay.
So, it's like my goal was to not mess up and die. I wanted to finish, so...
Yeah. That's the main thing, is not dying. I totally agree with that. But it's really interesting that you can kind of eye over to the restream and see if you're ahead or behind. And that is something I still need to get used to doing, to be a little more aggressive or not.
Yeah, that was really cool. I wasn't even aware this was a possibility until I got a ping and like, oh, cool. Thanks, guys. Amazing.
Nice.
It's I can just, both of you guys had really, like, being in the same like minute box as your PB in like a race setting is really, really hard. Like, so that, like, they're both really, really good runs. And also that was because you mentioned it, Coin, like, it was actually really interesting because you guys were almost completely in lockstep through huge chunks of the early game, and actually the hammer yump was like one of those ones where you could literally see, because Mike kind of walked straight into it, and Coin, you had like a lot of pauses and you kind of saved it at the last on the last one. So it was like actually like the lead like flipped there, and you could kind of see it in real time how that like the pauses impacted. It was, you guys should definitely watch it back. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I will. It's really good run for me as well, just in general. Second ever run on this pace actually. So, and I even picked up the mushroom.
Yep, I grab it too. Especially if I'm doing early mire, I'm definitely gonna grab the mushroom.
No, I grab it for the climb. I've tried to fake powder in mire, and literally I lost half a minute trying to fake powder. That, oh my god, it's so bad. I need to sit in a prac hack and practice that fake powder if I'm gonna go for it.
If you practice it a couple times, you'll get it. It's not that
No, but a couple of times I try, it's like, oh no, I'm actually losing health here. And
lose 9 hearts to gain 8.
yeah, no, it was bad. So good mushroom, and basically free and without a text box, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, Mike dominating in the all important checks per hour strat here.
71. Is that what did? Is it 70 versus 71?
I have 67.
67.
Where'd you go?
Saha rupees and blue mail, I guess.
Ah, you got
Yeah.
blue mail. Okay. Yes, that's exactly it. I respect that.
Shout outs to
You
Eric for
don't
teaching.
mushroom. You
I don't even need
mushroom,
mushroom.
man. If you go getting blue mail, you're good. You're crazy.
He's giving me every
Oh,
safety. I'm
that was-
very scrubby. Sorry?
I was saying the TR, the roller room, got a little squirrely. I was actually like, oh man, I think it's good that you had the blue mail, because if you hadn't gotten if you were on green and you hadn't gotten the very first drop, you would have been pretty at risk in chomps.
Oh, yeah. I even practiced roller room prior to the race, and still, it's like, no. It's like, this room is not for me. Yeah.
Buddy.
All right, GG's, dude. Good luck in your next race.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much for raising me, and good luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you, commentators, and thank you, Cubs, for restreaming.
Yeah, GG to both of you.
Rob, any other thoughts?
I think you covered everything there. It was a really good race to watch, and yeah, there'll be more to come, I'm sure.
About a half hour, actually. Telethar versus Faker Jr. right back here on the main channel. So everybody gets a little break, and hopefully see you back here for some more NMG. Big thank you to both PH and to Rob for comms today. That's going to do it for the moment. We're going to head on out for now, but again, about 30 minutes. See us back here for the next race. Until then, everybody, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you back here soon.